What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm starting this video in a parking garage in London where I just bought another Supra. Yep. But that's not the topic of today's video. Today is all about the Subie, and I decided to go pretty crazy with it. I did what I thought I wouldn't do, and it came out pretty great. So without further ado, let's get into it. Stay tuned. All right, so starting on this side, the first thing I want to do is with the door and the door gap. I thought I had a great idea here with my design. Turns out it's super ugly, so I'm gonna go ahead and change it. What I did is I extended the metal from the inside of the door here all the way to the outside, and it allows me to have this part seal against the inside of the door there, and protect from any water. Also, this metal will be a lot stronger than that fiberglass, so if any rocks come up inside here, this would be more protective and it won't crack any of the fiberglass. However, once this is all molded, what happens is once you close the door, it creates this horrendous door gap where the top of it is normal and then down here it becomes flush with the door, and this looks super weird. So I want to make it all uniform with the top. So what I need to do is actually cut this off completely. And same in here, so I'm going to remove half of this metal sheet, and unfortunately it's going to expose a little bit of the fiberglass down here to the elements when the wheel actually rotates, but I think that's okay to do. I mean, most people do this on GDB cars and other four-door wide-body Subies, so I should be fine. You know, I thought I was doing something new and great, but it turns out there's a reason why people don't do that. Alright, so after a lot of thinking, I'm going to change route a little bit and focus on the width of the body kit. This will officially make it a wide body of a wide body of a wide body, if that makes sense. So I'm going to add 1 more centimeter to the kit, making it a 110 millimeter kit, because now is the perfect time. It is the easiest time, and I'm going to show you why exactly. From the previous cut, I have a hole here to patch on this side. And I have some work underneath in the door here to make it fit. So this area needs to be reworked. This whole thing needs to be done again. So I was thinking, what if I just made a big cut across here and then across there? I could pull the entire panel, and basically the only thing that would change is I would have to redo the top here, but the inside there would have to be done anyways. So now would be the perfect time to actually do this work. Now, the reason why I want to go wider is very simple, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. So when I started, there was no 100 millimeter kit. I was the first one to do it officially like this on a 4-door, keeping the 22B style. So that was a big thing. There was a few WRC versions or time attack versions that looked a little bit different. So yeah, I don't count those. But anyways, I was the first 22B kit to be 100 millimeter wide. Now it's becoming a thing, maybe because of me, maybe not, who knows, but it's out there, and I wanted this car to be special, to stand out, which was the case when I originally thought about the 100 millimeter kit, but now I need to go beyond that. I need to be at least 110 millimeter wide. So that's the only reason. I have plenty of tire already as it is. I don't need more, so there's no functional reason to it. It's simply to keep this car unique and as crazy as they come, so there you go. Now, given that I've changed a lot of other things like the wheel arches and a few of the shapes in the front, it's already pretty unique, but yeah, the width has to be unique as well. So that's enough rambling for now. Let's get to work. I've just finished adding 1 centimeter of metal to the arch right there. This pushes the panel out just enough, but now it won't sit exactly flush how it should, because the edge is too strong and it won't bend. So what I need to do is just cut the edge off and bend the panel in the right shape, then mold it back together. That's something I've done before, nothing crazy. The only thing is I wanted to bring the arch up by about 1 or 2 centimeters anyways, so now I can do both at once. Two birds, one stone, makes it easy. Let's do it. All right, so this may look a little more drastic than before, but trust me, it's all for the best. What I've done is removed a chunk up here and the 1 centimeter off of the arch, and that gave me enough flexibility in the panel to line it up there with the metal. So that's all good to go. It's ready to be fiberglassed. I'm just gonna do a wall here, maybe 1 or 2 patches up there just to hold it, and then I'll do the edge, which is up here. This thing, I'll mold it back in there, and this should be good to go. The door is also ready to be fiberglassed. As you saw, I cut it there. I've added a spacer for that 1 millimeter clearance, and I'm just gonna do a few patches there and here. And again, I've removed this edge, taken 1 centimeter off, so this will go back in somewhat like this. All right, let's do this.
A few minutes later.
First pass of fiberglass is done. I haven't gone crazy yet about patching all the holes and everything. This is just to hold the panels together. It'll be a lot easier to do once I can remove them off of the car. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I did do this one a little more completely. And I've done the bottom here. I've molded the lips back on there. So this is all looking pretty promising. Now I'm going to replicate the same thing on the other side to have it perfectly symmetrical, and then I'll come back and patch all those holes. On this side, however, one thing I forgot is the fuel door. If I move the panel out, I'm gonna have to redo all the metal behind it. So yeah, I kind of forgot about that, but now I went too far on the other side to back up. So I'm gonna push through and do that. I don't expect it to be super difficult. It's just a pain in the ass to do. And yeah, I gotta redo a bunch of stuff around here as well. But same plan, I'm gonna start by cutting the rear quarter, doing that cut, doing the side cut here, and then the door, same thing, cut there, and then cut the arch as well. I've just finished removing the filler neck support. Obviously, if the panel moves out, this needs to move as well. So it is now attached to the other side of the quarter panel, along with a piece of the filler neck, which is also cut. Obviously, everything has to move. It's just like the first time I did it, except a lot easier, because now I know what I'm doing, and it's only moving this much compared to before, where I was moving almost 100 millimeter. So yeah, I'm just going to take my panel, slap it on, and then probably try and weld that piece to this piece from the backside in here. All right, I've just finished modifying the filler neck support. That thing came out pretty well. It's not as pretty as before, but you can see there I've added the 0.8 millimeter of height. So that's all good to go. The filler neck I haven't done yet. I've got the right position, so it is cut and prepared. I just need to patch it up, make it one piece. But that's going to be for later. For now, I want to focus on this quarter panel. Gonna slap it back on and get on with the fiberglass.
2 hours later.
All right, here we are. First look at the 110 millimeter wide body. That thing looks massive. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you not? Would you have done anything differently? Let me know in the comments below. So this thing is fully dried now on this side. I can still open the door, everything is functional. The door, the fuel door, everything is there. I need to finish welding up that fuel filler neck. But other than that, it's all there. All I'm left to do now is patching up these holes. There's a bunch of them. They're even bigger on this side. So that'll be a little bit of a challenge. But it shouldn't be a problem. I'm just going to remove the panels, flip them over, start fiberglassing from the inside this time. I did the outside last time. just because the holes were so massive and I needed the panels to be in the right shape. But now they're strong enough, so I'm just going to remove them, do it off the car, and make my life easier. While that's drying, I'm probably going to start on the front fenders. Those are pretty wide already. I don't know if I'm going to do 110 millimeters. As you can see there, there's already so much room for the tire, so that might not be necessary. But one thing I do need to do is give it more room, both in the front and the rear, and maybe the height as well. So I might just take off 1 centimeter all around as I did in the rear, just give it a little more space. So I might do that and catch you guys once I'm done.
Everything to fall apart when it's hard to me. 'Cause my only crime was hoping there is something more than this loneliness I feel. But no one makes me feel less alive. We're fighting fire. The way you push my buttons just right. We're fighting fire. When two voices of nature collide. We're fighting fire. Can't help but feel the temperature rise. We're fighting fire. We're fire. Maybe if we took a moment long enough to realize how.
Alright guys, it's the next day. Let me show you a quick update of the current state. I've put some body filler on the rear arches. It's not really smooth yet, but it gives a good idea. It fills up those holes and it gives a good idea of the shape. Man, this thing is so wide. I'm really glad I did that 1 more centimeter. And then the door gap is kind of like before, a little bit more closed, filled in now. Still have a pretty massive gap over there and some stuff to fix over here, but that 1 centimeter on the arch I think looks really good, both in the height and the width. Now the front also, this time I took 2 centimeters, so I took a bit more off in the front in terms of height, which I think really helps give it a more aggressive look and definitely more room for the tire here. So I'm pretty happy about that as well. It's not completely done yet. I need to reinforce that stuff. But there we go. I did not touch the width. I think in the front it's good as it is. And it really matches the rear right now. So really happy overall. Same on the other side. Again, more room around the arch. 1 centimeter of width here, which actually you can see right there. And that fuel door was kind of a pain. I'm really glad I did it though. I still need to weld again the fuel filler neck, but yeah, that should be a quick one. And again, from the rear, there we go. So massive. She's a fatty, guys. I like it. So you may actually think that we're done right now, but that's not true. I have one more thing to do, and that's with the side skirts. So those are the 22B side skirts. I'm gonna give you guys a quicker, better look here. They're not horrible, but not really my style. And one thing I definitely don't like about them is how low they come in the rear here. So the chassis is actually higher than that bottom section. And for some reason it follows the chassis all along the front. And then about there it starts dropping below. Let's see if I can actually do this. Yeah, below the chassis. And I don't want to keep that. I think it's not a good idea to run a body kit that is lower than the chassis in case something hits from the bottom. So I got these. These are the WRC version from Antonenko. Again, this guy, for those who don't know, great guy in Russia, does amazing body work. And I got some new side skirts, so I'm gonna try and install those. They're quite a bit different. If you check out the cross section right there, they're much more round than the 22B, and they're actually completely straight. which is awesome. Or almost completely straight. You just kick out towards the end by the rear wheel, which is actually this piece. There we go. That's the sort of the door piece, and yeah, goes on the door. The problem is this is for a coupe, so I'm gonna have to cut this one up, modify it to make it fit on my doors and actually underneath the door. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, gonna try and put those on somehow. Wish me luck.
If we took a moment long enough to realize how alike we are.
Unfortunately, swapping side skirts means I cannot reuse the same mounts that I did before, so all this nice metal work has to go. That's a bit unfortunate. I was pretty happy about this stuff, even the rear piece over there, but that all has to go now.
Fighting fire, can't help but feel the temperature rise. Fighting fire with fire.
Okay, so it turns out doing the side skirts was much more of a tedious job than I thought. It took me about 4 or 5 hours to get everything off of there, get rid of all the welds that I did, make them nice and smooth again. So now the frame rail is ready to go. I can start fitting the side skirt on the car. I've got it right here. This is the new one. I have this little hole for jack stands, as WRC cars used to have, but I'm not going to run them, so I'll get rid of this. I think, you know, shaved down is going to be a much cleaner look. So just to give you an idea compared to the ABW stuff, this is much better. Look at this fitment here. I could actually go straight and just glue it on there as it is right now, but I think I'm going to bring the side skirt out a little bit since this is a bit wider of a body kit than the WRC cars, just to give it a more balanced look. But this thing fits really good. So the game plan here is to extend the bottom of the side skirt to reach all the way to the chassis, and then I can glue it straight in there. So I'm going to make some flat plates of fiberglass that I can glue onto the side skirts. And then for the top, it's actually really easy. As you can see there, the side skirt just kind of sits on top of the frame rail. I don't know if that's going to work for me, just because there's little room between the door and the frame rail. So I might actually cut this and sort of glue it a bit down below like this. We'll see. For now, I'm just going to leave it like this. It's good enough. The tricky part is actually the rear section of the side skirt, because as you can see, when I fit it on there, the door interferes with this. So what I'm going to do is line up the rear section of it here, this corner with the edge of the chassis where I wanted. And then that tells me how high I need to cut on this side. And then over here, I'm going to cut all the way probably to before this little hole. Just make sure there's no bend going up before my cut. So probably from here straight across and then somewhere along there. So let's try this. Catch you guys in a bit. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to finish mounting up the side skirts in this video. I just don't have enough time. But here you go. This should give you a good idea of what it's going to look like. I think it's a lot better than the 22B side skirts, especially there you can see how much further it sticks out. And the shape of it just makes more sense. It is fully aligned with the bottom of the chassis, which I really like. This is what race cars do. You don't want any bodywork hanging down lower. So I'm really happy about this. The rear, I don't know. There's kind of a big hole here to patch up, but also I think I want to make it kick out a bit more, because right now it is perfectly aligned with the quarter panel. But I think ultimately it would be a lot better to have like just a little bump like this. It would definitely help tie the whole shape together, make it that much more aggressive. So I might do that later on. Probably gonna cut the side skirts here, bring it out, fiberglass it together. But yeah, I think this flows a lot better with the general shape that I wanted to give to the car. So today is such a beautiful day. Let's put all the panels on the car, bring it outside, and see what it looks like in the sun. Let's go. Alright guys, she's finally out. Let's do a quick walk around, appreciate the body lines, and let me know what you think about the new arches and the new side skirts. I definitely like the extra room on the wheel arches. I think it looks more like WRC. Really like that. Side skirts. And that width. Okay, that side skirt is missing, but I did add the roof. For those who haven't seen this, this is a full carbon roof by Marsh Composites. Actually, let me show you. We designed together the reinforcements that you can see there because I wanted to add the Type RA vent in the front, and I did not want any reinforcement in this specific location. So we moved that a bit, and he did that custom for me. Awesome quality, it's super good, very straight too, you can see the light bouncing off. So I recommend Marsh Composites. There we go. Let's open the hood. Still have the STI motor, full stock, and that's it. Power steering pump seems to be working again. Let's check it out from the inside as well. So we still have the CAE shifter, the STI handbrake, and just one code from the ABS sensor because the braking fluid is low. Other than that, it's good. Sounds pretty great as usual, and it's actually the first time I'm in here with the carbon roof. Yeah, it's nice to have some protection over your head. I like it. Alright guys, that's where I'm gonna leave it for today with the Subie and the Supra in the background. I am so happy we finally got to do that work on the fenders. I've been meaning to do it for such a long time now, and I think it gives it that little extra aggressiveness that WRC cars tend to have. So let me know what you think of that shape. And otherwise, 110mm, I haven't seen anyone else do it. This might be a world's first in the WRC style. I know it's a 4-door, but still. So yeah, super stoked. And as always, thanks a lot for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
Come here.